Ann Burckhardt is the former taste editor of the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. We're into the winter blues, so she has the perfect book for us. It's entitled Hot Dish Heaven, Classic Casseroles from Midwest Kitchens. We're delighted you're here, and it's such a perfect time.
Thank you, Roland.
I see you brought two wonderful dishes.
I brought two of my dishes, yes. These are both from the comfort food section of the book. And let me ask this,
before you start on this, let me ask this quick question.
Sure.
In your foreword, it says that the hot dish is enjoying a renaissance. Well, I always thought that the hot dish was like sacred to Minnesotans. So was there a problem that we're now needing a renaissance?
Yeah. Well, it's sacred to the past, is what it is. These recipes are from the 50s and 60s and the early 70s, and not just from Minnesota, but also North and South Dakota, and Wisconsin and Iowa. So I pulled together recipes that I really thought families today would love. Mm-hmm. They're easy. They use convenient products. They make the house smell great. They're big enough that people can have seconds or maybe thirds. They're just
so
the kind
we're
of thing that
enjoying
we
a wonderful
need.
Renaissance, right?
Yes, we are. You know, people got into doing a lot of stir fry mm-hmm. and doing various skillet dishes. They made things in the microwave, but there's something so wonderful about putting it all together, sticking it in the oven, getting all the dishes cleaned up. And then an hour later, having something that smells great and tastes great.
Smells great right here, I can tell you
Yes.
that. Well, you've brought these wonderful two dishes.
Sure,
Why don't you tell
sure.
us, well, first of all, you're going to do some finishing touches, right?
I'm going to do some finishing touches.
And what do we have here? What are the dishes?
This one is called pizza rice.
Mm-hmm.
And you start with rice that you've cooked ahead of time, 3 cups of white rice. And then you start stirring in all kinds of other things. It's a whole half-pound package of the sliced mushrooms. They've cooked way down now. And then there's ripe olives and pepperoni. You know, I like both pepperoni and sausage on my pizza. Mm-hmm. So then there's Italian sausage. You take it out of the casing and you snip it up into small pieces. And then it's a piece of sauce. It's this can of the pizza sauce with 3/4 of a cup of water. And then you use green pepper. I brought red pepper for show today, but it's really green pepper in the dish. You could use red pepper if you wanted to, but you want the green for a variety in color. Then you bake it for 50 to 60 minutes, mm-hmm. and then while it's still
heat
hot,
oven to 350 degrees, using
350
a 3/4
oven,
casserole.
yes. Almost everything in the book mm-hmm. is 350 degrees.
It's easy to know. This is something that I could even understand. It's so simple that
yes,
the way you did
I tried
it.
to write it very clear. Now this is a 1/2 cup of Parmesan that I'm stirring in, and mm-hmm. I was able to buy that all shredded mm-hmm. at the supermarket. And then the next thing to add is a whole cup of the shredded mozzarella cheese. Mm-hmm. And the mozzarella is lower in fat than the Parmesan. So, and mozzarella is absolutely required for a pizza flavor, of course. So we just stir those in, and then the lid is off the set, unfortunately. So. But you would stir these in, and then you would put the lid back on and let it steam, because this
looks delicious. I think that if we could finish this off, I would like you to get on to
okay.
Cedric Adams. Now this,
okay.
we remember that name, Cedric Adams.
Yes, the seniors will remember him. You know, in the old days, you could walk down the road, and every house would have that 6 mm-hmm. o'clock program of mm-hmm. his on. But this is one of his favorite recipes. He loved great food. And this is just so awfully easy to make. You start in the bottom with 3 cups of the shredded cabbage that mm-hmm. you get in the bag in the produce department. It's called coleslaw mix. You start with that, and then ahead of time you have browned a pound of hamburger along with a cup of chopped mm-hmm. onion, mm-hmm. and I buy my onions all chopped. And then the hamburger's the second layer. The ground beef, there's another batch of 3 more cups, and when you're filling this, the casserole is full to the very top. And then you take your can of tomato soup and you just beat it up with a spoon to liquefy it, and spread that on the top, make an even layer. Cover it. I covered this with heavy-duty foil into the 350 oven, and that's 50 to 60 minutes also. And when it comes out, it's all done. It's all ready to eat. So it's really basically just 4 ingredients: the cabbage, the tomato soup, the hamburger, and the onion. So that's
there are basically 4 ingredients into every hot dish, isn't that right?
Well, there's.
You mentioned the vegetable, the meat.
You always need a vegetable. You always need a starch. You always need a sauce, and you always need a protein source. But in some cases, like macaroni and cheese is really a hot dish.
And the wonderful thing about it also, leftover. You told me that the leftovers not only serve some more meals, but it tastes even better. Why is that?
Yes. Well, it's just something about hot dish that when you warm it up, it tastes even better. I heard a story about a man whose mother made something called goulash. It was hamburger, tomato, and rice, and macaroni, I think. And the first day it didn't taste very good because it didn't have much in the way of seasonings or onion or anything. But then the second day it got better, and the third day it got even better. Warming it up. And that's true of both of these. They're both really good later on. While we were testing the recipes for the book, my daughter would take whatever was left over and warm it up and microwave at her office, and she really enjoyed those too. So, and they freeze well. All of these recipes freeze well and can be reheated the next day.
Well, now these you tested each one of these.
Absolutely. Some of them I've tested 2 or 3 times because one time when I made this one, it was pretty soupy, so I had to figure out, just the right amount and the right baking time so it would be done but not too soft.
And a lot of these recipes, I suspect that you probably organize it so it would be simple for either a senior, a busy family, or whatever.
Yes. And the potluck chapter is going to be really popular with our senior listeners because they oftentimes get invited to potlucks, and these are simple things that you can put together and take along. And the other thing is that I do have some desserts. The last chapter of the book is 8 desserts that you can make in the 350 oven in these same sizes of casseroles, and
Mom's bread pudding, caramel fruit pudding, fudge pudding, pear on the square, and so forth. A lot of great recipes.
Yes. I did a demonstration at Barnes & Noble last week, and I did the one called New Fashioned Fruit Crisp. And you start out with a can of cherry pie filling, and you fold in 4 more cups of fruit and put it into the casserole, the same size of casserole, and then sprinkle the top with granola, and then moisten up the granola with a little melted butter.
And there you are.
That is so good.
We can get this book. You mentioned Barnes & Noble. All major bookstores, right?
Yes, all the major bookstores. It's on Amazon.com. You can't forget the Historical Society's gift shops.
Oh, yes.
Because the Historical Society is the publisher here. And they have a very nice gift shop over at the History Center in St. Paul, and right here practically next door at the Mill City Museum.
And the book is Hot Dish Heaven, Classic Casseroles from Midwest Kitchens. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Oh, it was fun to be here, Roland.